Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, Gianni. Another senseless shooting. When is it going to stop, Gianni?
Hopefully soon. So recently, if you guys have not heard, there was on March 27th a mass school shooting that took place at a private elementary school called the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee. So the shooter, who's identified as Audrey Hale, he bought 7 firearms, but he did only use 3 during the attack. It took police about 14 minutes from the moment that they received a call that there was an active shooter for them to actually go in and kill the shooter with four. It took them 14 minutes for them to shoot the shooter on site. So the mass shooting is just one of 130 shootings that's happened in just this year alone in the U.S. And it also lawmakers were once again basically summing up that the mass school shooting that just took place still isn't likely to change minds or change any laws in regard to gun reform. So, sorry, I had to get that out. That was a lot. So, how do you guys think school and mass shootings in the United States impact our psychological well-being and even people's reaction and their emotional reaction to these type of tragedies?
Robbie?
This is a tragedy that should trigger outrage in your social fabric. It's deplorable and sad that school shootings in the US have become a common occurrence. You have Tennessee lawmakers that are working to ban books, drag shows, remove CRT from schools, introduce vague language in their definition of marriage that allows officials to refuse to marry certain people. They systematically loosen gun restrictions in the state. And when I heard Tim Burchett's comments about this, Tennessee Republican representative. 3 precious little kids have lost their lives, and I believe 3 adults. I believe, and the shooter, of course, lost their life too. So it's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. I have news for you, Tim. It's your job to fix it. You have an obligation to provide a safe society for all your constituents, and the solution isn't more guns. It isn't to loosen gun restrictions with laws that allow open carry without a permit and the ability to carry guns in public parks, restaurants, college campuses. Your Second Amendment gun rights put people at risk, and more guns in the hands of the people leads to more gun violence. Americans have become blasé to this type of tragedy, and the rest of the world just can't believe that this is ongoing.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm frustrated with the sense of numbness that we're kind of feeling about it, where it's literally every week we hear another shooting, another mass shooting, and every other week it's a mass shooting at a school. You know, and I think we as a society have just become so numb that nothing's ever going to get done. When we're talking to Fazul, I feel powerless. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. What can I do? I can talk to Fazul and he becomes mayor, and then what? What happens? I go talk to my representative, and then they go on the Senate floor, and then they debate about it, and then what? Nothing. I can tell my president has no power because the Senate can't figure anything out. Senate and the Congress can't figure anything out. And then, when we talk about this numbness that you're talking about, I mean, this sense of like, it's just, we just gotten used to it. You hear about it, and, there's typically, when something happens to a child, like, for example, Patrick, there's this outrage, anger, sadness, it's like, because, it reflects our innate sense of empathy and compassion that we have, particularly towards children, right? And
Yeah.
because they're vulnerable, right? We have that motherly, fatherly instinct to protect children. And what I'm seeing now is that's like disappearing. It's dissipating. Have you ever seen those movies where they have like a child on a farm as like a pet pig or chicken, and then the farmer dad,
Yeah.
and then the farmer dad makes them watch as he slaughters it for food?
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
this happens in real life. I mean, but there's movies, there's shows about it where you just have the kid is sitting there, and it's like this pet. You know, they even named the chicken, and then they've got it, and then they cut the chicken's head off in front of the kid. You know, and the kid
Yeah.
is shocked or sad,
Yep.
or you know. But over time, with repeated exposure, the child becomes desensitized to the experience, and it just becomes part of normal farm life to them. You know, and that's in a way, I think, what's happening to some of us. You know, it's in the news every single week, and I think some of us are just looking at it like, okay, this is just normal now, and we gotta fight that urge to become desensitized. We can't let this become normalized. These are children. I mean, even like lions and tigers. Lions and tigers will take care of like babies. You know, like if they see an injured like meal that's a baby, they even try to protect them sometimes. We've seen them. I mean, all I'm saying is
Sometimes.
we got to protect children.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Rob?
Yeah, you were saying something, Rob?
No, I'm just saying it is normalized in the U.S., Neil, because it's clear. It's clear that it's normalized. If you look at just the sheer number of mass shootings, like Johnny was saying, you know, 130 for the year already, 647 last year, I think it was. So you're trending to match 2022. But and that's it. It's the frequency of it. And I appreciate what you're saying about children, Neil, but these are just victims that are caught up in somebody's destructive path. You know, I think of even like that country concert in Vegas a couple of years ago, where 100 and some people got shot when someone, I think it was Mandalay Bay, where he just opened up. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to see a concert, you're going to have a good time with your friends, have a couple of drinks. You're not expecting to have to huddle in fear of your life and the person next to you.
The FBI just released some information about that too, where the reason he went crazy was because he lost a ton of money in Vegas. That was the reason he decided to go shoot people. I mean,
mental illness is.
I don't know if that's mental illness. That's just like, I think it's a number of factors to these mass shootings. But what are your thoughts, Johnny?
I guess to sort of answer my own question on what it's doing to us psychologically, we are being desensitized, because if you think about it, whenever we did as a nation hear about one of the major, like even 9/11, I know this is off topic, but even 9/11, one of those major tragedies, it's almost like from there we were just kind of like, our mind just kind of subdued tragedy or something. Because I feel like when the first mass shooting happened, I think it was at Sandy Hook at this elementary school, we didn't do anything about gun reform, so we just kind of didn't expect anything to ever get done. So we are in the normalizing of it. So I kind of asked this question to more so ask people who are watching to kind of like maybe be more aware of how media and how these stories are affecting us and how come we are desensitized. It's not to put on an act and act like you care and, oh, boo-hoo, these children. But it's like, wait, these are children. How do I get back to that humanity? Like, where is that? Where's the feeling, the love? Like, I don't know. I think that's hard to ask for people to bring out of them. But I do think it's something we need to start conversing on. Because we have all of the solutions. We can talk all logical all day long. But when we talk about the reality of it, we need people that care so that this can even get solved. If nobody cares, this isn't going to get solved. So,
Comments online. Mike Winter says that's not the reason he shot people. Talking about the Mandalay, the Las Vegas shooter. He says that it's because he had easy access to guns and he had a serious pathology.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to losing money, that was his reasoning.
that was the trigger. That was the trigger event.
That's a better
access to guns and the
trigger.
Access to guns and the pathology. Mike's 100% correct.
Is the reason. Yep. All right. He also says lack of empathy is the biggest problem in this country. Broken people in leadership think that it's a good thing to not teach kids empathy. DeSantis is on top of that list. Good point.
Sure is.
Jose says, how many more children need to be killed until something's done? This is absurd. Jacqueline Robinson says, Tennessee's trash legislator made it clear that he intends to do nothing. After all, his crotch fruit are homeschooled. Crotch fruit. We need training and licensing to do someone's hairs, nails, and drive a car, but several states have made it easier for people to obtain weapons. It's crazy. All right. Is this truth, lies, shenanigans?
Lies, shenanigans.
This
Big
is
pile of
unfortunate.
shenanigans.
It's also shenanigans because the gun reform and
They
the
need
whole
to get
gun
some
issues.
stuff done, man. I'm really frustrated. I don't know. I don't even know what. We talk about on this show. We try to bring awareness to it. We've been trying to do that for 3 years, almost 3 years now. And what else can we do? It's so frustrating to me. I mean, we've even talked to politicians and people that can possibly do something, and it's still not happening.